everyone, my name is Katia and today I'm going to show you how to crochet these super adorable owls. They're very easy to make and they work up super quick. So let's get to it and create something great. For this project you're going to need 4-ply yarn. You can choose any colors you want and a little bit of yellow. I used a 9mm crochet hook for the larger owl, and for the smaller one I used a 5.5mm crochet hook. You're also going to need a hot glue gun, some sort of beads or some sort of buttons for the eyes, scissors, tapestry needle, and some sort of sticks. You can buy them or you can just look for them outside. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet the larger owl, and for this type of owl what you need to do is have 2 strands of yarn, and that's what I have here. If you don't want to do the larger one, just use 1 strand of yarn. It's your choice, but you're going to need smaller hook. To start, let's slip knot. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch into our first chain to create a ring. I'm going to be working my tail in so I can tighten the center at the end. Let's chain 2, 1, 2, and into the ring we're going to work 10 double crochets. Here's 1, 2, 3. Continue working, making your 10 double crochet, and I'll meet you at the end. At the end of round 1, you should have 10 double crochets. If we pull on this tail, it should tighten the center, like so. Let's go ahead and slip stitch into our first double crochet, which is right over here. Let's chain 1. Round 2, we're going to work 2 double crochets into each stitch around. I'm going to work 2 double crochets back into our first stitch right here that we slip stitched into, and I'm going to work 2 double crochets. Here's 1 and 2. Repeat into the next stitch. Work 2 double crochets. Continue working and I'll meet you at the end of this round. You should have 20 double crochets. At the end of round 2, you should have 20 double crochets. Let's slip stitch into our first double crochet. Next, we're going to work on the eyes of the owls. Let's chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back into this space right here that we slip stitched into, right here, we're going to work 2 treble crochet. Here's 1, 2, and 3. 1 more treble crochet. Next, let's work a picot. Let's chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's slip stitch back into this space right here where we have our 2 treble crochets joined together right over here. So let's slip stitch through these 2 loops and pick up the other 2 loops right over here and slip stitch into, like so. Work 2 more treble crochet back into the same stitch. One more treble crochet. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go back into the same stitch and slip stitch into that stitch. So here we worked our 1 eye. We're going to work the next one right into the next stitch. So go ahead and slip stitch into that stitch and repeat. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, treble crochet 2 times, Here's 2. Let's do a picot. So go ahead and chain 4. Go back into this space right here, pick up all 4 loops and slip stitch into. And let's work another 2 treble crochets back into the same stitch. Here's 1 and 1 more. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch back into the same stitch, like so. So here we have our 2 eyes. I know they don't look like it right now, but they will soon. So next, let's slip stitch 8 times. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Next, we're going to work on the tail right over here. So let's chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Work 1 treble crochet back into the same stitch right here. Into the next stitch, work 2 treble crochets. Here's my second one. Into the following stitch, work 2 more treble crochets. Here's 1 and 2. Into the following stitch, work 1 treble crochet. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and slip stitch back into the stitch right here where we worked our treble crochet. So here's our tail. Now we need to slip stitch back to the top. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch right into the space right here to fasten off. And chain 1. And let's cut our yarn. We are finished with our owl. Now we need to make him look like an owl. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to bring this tail back to the center and knot it right over here. So use any stitches and bring your tails to the center like so. Okay, and then I'm just going to use some of the stitches and just bring it to the middle like so. Tighten the other tails from the center and go ahead and tie it. You can cut your tails. Next thing, we're gonna glue our buttons, and I'm using 4 buttons. I'm just gonna go ahead and glue them. I'm using hot glue gun to do this. Here's one, and here's my second one. And I'm going to add my little one right on top of my big one, like so. Now that we glued our eyes, let's go ahead and add a beak. And I'm going to go ahead and go from the back and insert my needle right in the middle, right into this stitch right here. So it's right between our two eyes where we switched off, where we chained 4. Here is our little space right here, and we started another chain 4. So right in the center, I'm going to go ahead and insert my needle and bring it out. Make sure our tails are a little bit long here. You can hold it with your fingers so they don't escape. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back right where we chained 4, right over here. I'm going to go ahead and bring my needle right into one of these chains right here and go back to the back like so. And then I'm gonna come back and pick up the chains or the V right on this side like so. And then I'm gonna go right back down where we started our beak like so. Here we have a V that looks a little bit like a beak, but we're gonna get there. So all we have to do now is go back into the original stitch and make sure our back is okay and just fill it up. So I'm just gonna go to the center and just keep adding stitches. I think I'm gonna add one more. That should be enough, like so. So here I worked my beak, and in the back, just gonna pull this, make sure it looks okay here. If I pull too hard, I'm just gonna use my needle like so, and if that happens to you, just use your needle and pull your stitches out a little bit, and that usually works. So in the back, I'm just gonna go ahead and tie my tails. Just gonna make a knot. Like so. Cut our tails. We're done with our beak. Next thing, we're gonna use a stick and add a couple of stitches. So our owl looks like he's sitting on the stick. So choose the one you feel like it's gonna work for you. I'm just using one from my backyard that I found. I'm gonna use the same yarn with the same needle, and I'm going to go ahead and place my stick right where I want it to be and just kind of hold it with one of my hands. And right where we chained 4, right here, that's where I'm gonna start. Right over here, right close to the stick, I'm going to go ahead and bring my needle, leave my tail in the back, and go right around my stick, like so. And then go back one more time, right next to it, and go around my stick, like so. And if it twists on you, you can just fix that. And then again, if you want to hide your stitches, you can just use a couple of your double crochets that you worked on and just bring it to the other side. If you don't want to, you don't have to do this part. I'm just showing you in case if you do want to. So like so. So now we're on the other side, and again we're gonna start right where we worked our chain right here, chain 4. I'm going to start there. So I'm gonna go at the bottom, bring up my needle, and go back around my stick like so. And if my yarn twists, I'm going to fix it with my needle. And one more time, right next to it, I'm going to go ahead and work my second stitch like so. So now that we have our stick attached in the back, we're just gonna go ahead and bring the needle close to our tails. Just gonna cut this needle out. Make a couple of knots. And cut my tails. You can go ahead and stop here, or if you want, you can add a little bit of yarn and attach it to our little ears right here that we made. All I did is I just used a piece of yarn and I just tied it to the ears like so. You don't have to do this, you can just keep it like this. It's your choice. Here are our finished owls. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.